Hi, it's Mrs. Greno, and I wanted to introduce you to Module 1 and go over what you're going to see in the review of algebra for Algebra 2. What you can notice here is the setup in all of your modules will be very similar to what you see here in Module 1. So obviously modules 1 through 5, which you'll be doing here for Segment 1. In the beginning, what you will see here is support videos. So again, these are videos that you can come back to for that specific module for any lesson that you want more help with, or you want to see more examples, or maybe just have it presented in a slightly different way, more in just a straight video format. When you click on this, this is a Google form, so it should come up with all the lesson numbers listed here. So 1.01, all of these videos with the subjects matches up here, so you can see they all mostly come from Khan Academy. If you have any questions or any issues accessing this, please let me know so that we can make sure that you have that opportunity to go back and forth and use this as needed. From there, you'll go through each lesson. What you want to note is that when you start a lesson, again, you should have out your math notebook, a notebook just for math. You want to make sure you go through all of the pages. The other important thing is to have that printed copy of the lesson summary packet. You're going to see this at the end of each lesson, which again, if you have that printed packet, you already have a core part of the notes for this lesson. But when you go through a lesson, make sure that again, you're viewing everything. This first part, essential questions, this is not your assignment. This is something to reflect on in the beginning to kind of see what's coming up, and then also to reflect on at the end, making sure that you can have an answer to each of these questions after you've taken notes and worked through the practice problems. You can see here, for example, this is just your introduction, so making sure you're going through all the screens. Again, this lesson has 6 pages, so most of the first few pages will be all about learning. So again, if this is review or you feel comfortable with that, that's where you have that ability with any of these lessons in Algebra 2 to go at your own pace, whether that's slower or faster. But again, using these interactive examples. So again, when you're looking at doing order of operations, making sure that you understand what should be happening and jotting down an example if you need it in your notebook. Here's another example working through that slide. If you need more, you're going to see this a lot in the lessons. There's always learn more. So there's just another opportunity maybe for like another example. So maybe not so much in the beginning of Module 2, but you could, as you move later on and you need another example, you'll have that opportunity to learn more or give yourself one more chance to see a worked out problem. I'm going to go through this whole lesson just so again you can see it from start to end. Here's some more examples. So going through each of these are videos that'll kind of play it. You have that opportunity if you need to show the text version of it. Okay. And again, learn more at the bottom. So more opportunities with that. Variables on both sides. So as you take notes, think of each page kind of as a solid topic. So that's where you should having like, okay, now here's an example of solving an equation with variables on both sides. Again, write it down. If you feel comfortable, you're moving forward from that. On page 5, so as you get to the end, it's practice problems. So I strongly encourage you to do this, especially if it's a newer topic for you or something maybe that you're struggling to completely master quite yet, so that you get that immediate feedback. So it's not an assignment, right? It's not that graded that's going to stick in your grade book, but you get that immediate feedback to work through each of these practice problems for this lesson. And the final page for your lesson will consist of the assignment directions. So again, it may just say go to 1.01 and complete that assignment. If it's an assignment where you need to turn in something, so questions that need to be answered, you're going to want to make sure you get the questions here, and then those would be done on a Google Doc or a Word document and attached to that. One thing I wanted to point out here that you can kind of miss that I just want to make sure that you see here, it's actually right before the practice problems. As you scroll down, here's that lesson summary. So again, you should already have, so you don't need to worry about it. So usually that is right before the end or right before the practice problems each lesson. You go to 1.01, and then you would start that first assignment. Assignments you can save, so I could do problems 1 and 2. Maybe I need to go do something else. I can save it and come back to it. When you look at the rest of Module 1, though, you will have a quiz. Quizzes you need to finish in one sitting, okay? So make sure that you're prepared, you have your notebook out, and you work through all of that. For this module, 1.02 is a big lesson, Introduction to Functions. There's a lot of key topics there, and you'll see that in the lesson summary packet. So make sure you understand what a function is. You understand how to find the inverse of a function. You understand how to find the composition of a function. So those are really kind of the three main things. I always feel that when I get students towards the end, that they're still kind of confused with, or they kind of just skipped over. Okay. The rest of this algebra kind of review, graphing linear equations and inequalities, writing linear equations, and then comparing functions. You'll wrap up this module with doing your practice test. So again, this setup is the same through all the modules. Once you're done with your practice test, reach out to me. Email me, text me, let me know that you want to set up a time to do that discussion-based assessment, either over the phone or we can do it on Blackboard Collaborate. Once that's complete, you're ready to roll. You're going to do your module test. Again, once that's started, you need to finish it. So there's two parts. So make sure that once you start part one, you have time to finish the entire thing and submit it. And then for each lesson, you have that opportunity of reflection to look back at all the topics and concepts that you learned, and then test corrections. So going back, obviously, once these are done. With test corrections, you have that opportunity to skip over that and come back to it. So maybe you submit your tests. I didn't grade part 2 yet. You can definitely start working in module 2 and come back and work on those test corrections. So I want that to kind of be a continual thing. The other thing, kind of spinning off of corrections, is remember, review your grades, right? Go to your grades. If you get a lower assignment, a lot of these question mark are auto-graded. So make sure that if you see something below a 70, or if you get any problems wrong, that if you want to resubmit the entire assignment, reach out to me, okay? Otherwise, remember that you have that opportunity to make corrections. So you can submit an email. So maybe you got 3 wrong out of 7. You don't want to resubmit the whole assignment. You can email me corrections with it, and that'll just help your overall grade. That'll help that assignment score, and that'll be awesome for you just in terms of moving forward in that module and preparing for the final exam. So that's module 1 in a nutshell. Again, reviewing all your algebra concepts, kind of just deepening those, and this is a good chance for you to really make sure that you're seeing all the different parts of a lesson and taking those notes. As questions come up, please don't wait for the discussion-based assessment. Reach out to me before that. Reach out to me if you have trouble with this 1.02 or any of the other lessons, or take that initiative to come back over here. So you can see 1.02, there's a video on the composite of function, the intro functions, introduction to functions, all these listed here with a 2 next to it.